All right, it's time for round two, and this one is an interesting one. Um, this is a topic that came to me recently because I was assigned it, and so I'd like to think it was well thought out and planned, but it was assigned to me because I missed our production meeting. So, but it's a cool topic, and the question is, what is it about a new board game that just screams, "Take my money"? Just
shut up and take my money.
That's right. Well, for me, I'm going to tell you a few things that does it for me because I have been over the years converted into one of those cult of the new people by Daniel. I didn't used to be. I used to be a good, nice, upstanding, old-fashioned man like Chris, where I just appreciated my few games, but then I got into buying everything I could. So the things that will scream take my money. For me, one of them that immediately hits me is nostalgia. So if you're going to grab me, it's going to be nostalgia in part. And it was done recently by Masters of the Universe, the board game Clash for Eternia by Simon, or Come On, or Cool Mini or Not, whatever you want to call them these days. It did just that. I'm still waiting for my copy to arrive. I'm not even sure it's going to be a good game. But man, oh man, it tapped into Andy's 7-year-old brain. And I love me some He-Man. I love He-Man and Skeletor. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to get this game. Other things that can really get my attention, I hate to say it, but I'm easily distracted by shiny metal things and thick plasticky goodness. So you give me some acrylic pieces that have some weight to them, it might get my attention, especially if it's a superb game already that has been redone. Case in point, I backed the Castles of Burgundy renewed version on Kickstarter. Excited to get that because it's an awesome game. And then finally, the other thing that says screams take my money, for me, it goes to, really, honestly, it's going to go down to designers. So if you throw a designer like Stefan Feld, Alexander Pfister, Uwe Rosenberg, Michael Kiesling, Rainer Knizia, basically just throw a German name on it, I'm in. I'm probably in. So there you go. That's what says take my money. What about you, Daniel?
Well, before I get to mine, Andy, I want to counter. I want to talk about some of the things you should have said that you didn't. One is, what about your pretension to buy things on sale? Isn't that something that you have a tendency to do? Like if it's the price is right, you just tend to spend too much money?
Listen, I didn't want you to bring this up. I thought we talked about this beforehand. I'm a recovering addict from buying board games on sale. I don't want to talk about this, okay? No, yeah. In the past, I had way too many times where I would go and I would see what was on sale, and then I'd go look at the rating on BGG, and I'd go, well, it's almost a 5. It's only $3. It's almost a 5. I should get it.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible strategy to do life, by the way, guys. Don't do life like that.
Don't do life like that.
I think that's a good way to just get like a whole bunch of components to make your own games with, though.
True.
Fair point.
That's a good point. Well, for me, I'm a pretty shallow gamer. I will say I really love me deep, meaty Euro games, but to get me to, there's a reason I have too many board games back here, because I hear one good review from somebody I enjoy, and I'm like, well, that could do it. I might like that. Or it could be something where they're like, you know what? We're going to take games that you loved in the past, and we're going to make them a collector's edition. And you can spend $500 to get all 5 of them. I drew the line on 2, guys, but that's one thing. Give me a nice, pretty new deluxe version, something special. I'm definitely all over that. Or, hold on, give me a second. You put these guys on the cover. This is some Marvel Dice Masters. I played Dice Masters, wasn't a fan. They said, hey, Marvel, and I said, take my money. So that's one reason. And then the other reason,
take my money,
is this. Capstone Games. You give me a good publisher that I appreciate, that has proven themselves and has proven that they make great quality games, I will almost always go out and buy that game as soon as it's out. This La
Familia.
Yeah, I can't even say it. I don't know what it's about. Apparently, it's a 4-only player game. I didn't even know that when I bought it. But you know what? I'm happy I have it, and I'm going to love it. And it's probably going to take me 3 years to play it. But that is why I buy games, because I have no self-control and I'm shallow.
And delusional.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, John, what about you? Do you have any better reasons than I do?
Well, I don't know. I was a lot like I think I had a lot of background like Andy did there with the buying the lesser quality games but usually it's something with the theme that would attract me. Like what was that one? Alcatraz the Scapegoat was a game that I bought that I never played because nobody wanted to play it because it was supposed to be terrible. Like I say, it was almost a 6. It was almost rated a 6. And I painted the minis in it. It's the only times I've ever painted minis. I bought minis for it because it didn't come with minis, and then I painted the minis, and then I never played the game and I traded it away because nobody would ever play it because it's not supposed to be very good. But it was a cool, gritty prison theme. I thought it would be really neat. That's what used to get me when I was early on when I was buying games. And so then it's kind of morphed into now almost entirely, am I going to get this game played? And that's kind of where Bad Company got my money, even though they really didn't get any of my money because the money I spent on it was given to me and it was found money like I had explained before in another show. And I had store credit, which paid for the rest. But I mean, potentially I could have spent it on another game, but I was like, it's 6 players. It plays quick. I have a lot of times I'm playing with 6 players and I need a game. And so I knew it would get played. So that a lot of times is what does it now. It makes me really want to pull the trigger as a game that I know is going to get played. As boring as that sounds, just a game that I know is going to get played is usually, not to say I can't get tempted by the cool minis and the neat, usually something unusual. If there's something unusual that comes with the game or it's just like overwhelmingly produced, that's another thing that'll do it. As a matter of fact, we're in a math trade right now. I think I'm the only one of us that got into it. And there's a game on there. What's that? Merchants of the Dark Road, which people seem to be kind of iffy on. Is that? But this is like the super deluxe edition with all the cool stuff. I'm like, oh, well, it's got to be worth playing if it comes with all that neat stuff. So that I'm trying to get that one now, even though maybe I shouldn't be trading for it. But so I am susceptible to the cool looking stuff that comes with the game as well. But playability, man, that's what I really look for. Number one. Daniel, do you have something?
What about theme?
Hold up.
I thought theme was a big thing for you.
That's what I'm saying. That's early on. That's all it was.
That's what he said.
Now
Yeah.
Now it's
there's a new math trade. Did I miss this?
Yes, you did.
Is it too late?
It is.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
And welcome to Andy's life.
Yes.
Pretty much.
He's been a little busy lately. Chris, what do you got, buddy?
So first of all, I want to say I wish you would have voiced to me about this Alcatraz game because I'd played it with you. Like I'll play any no. Listen, the reason is because I'll play any game with anyone that's put that much effort into it. Like the fact that you got like minis that weren't even for the game and painted them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna appease you just by definition. So that's a shame. Like when you, I would literally when you said like I traded away, I was like, oh. So it's like I would have played it with you.
So Chris,
That's too bad.
you're telling me if I paint the minis for the deluxe version of Wonderland's War, you'll play it with me?
Chris, remember, say yes to things that you know will never happen.
There you go.
Oh yes,
Excellent.
yes,
Very good.
that's right.
Very
That's
good.
right.
I thought you were gonna do the Tsukiyumi full moon down thing and say you were gonna.
I still gotta get
Now
that
that one I will play because I don't know it's terrible, but so
Not yet.
So I feel like there needs to be a different picture for this one for me. Shut Up and Take My Money is not something you see. What it is you can take that money from my cold dead hands. You have to work hard to get me to buy a game.
Yeah.
I now what does help is very black covers. Games about being an awful industrial person. Lo-fi colors, wooden pieces, preferably cubes. Now a little bit of this is shtick and a little hyperbolic, but honestly, it's kind of true. I'm not intrigued by the shiny stuff. I don't care that when I see shiny, I see unnecessary cost. That's what I see. And yes, I'm an old man for it and all those things, but it just really is. I'm just like, why don't we just make it lo-fi and make it 30% less? And it's the game. You play the game, people. You play the game. You don't play the art. You don't play the meeples. You play the game. So again, shut up and take my money. I mean, I guess Knitz, yeah, sure. That guy's got me every time. But outside of that, it's instead probably the money from my cold dead hands.
Chris, what was the game you just you did spend quite a bit of cash on something, and I was kind of surprised because that's not like you. What was it?
My
I've
Father's
replayed
Work,
it.
probably.
No. It
Okay.
had cubes and cards.
Oh, Hansa Teutonica?
No.
Oh, is that Alhambra or what? Not Alhambra, but El Grande.
Oh, El Grande.
El Grande, that was it.
Okay,
That was
well,
it.
yeah, and that's also different because that was a present to myself for finally paying off my school loans, and also the fact that like the game's been out of print for
Yeah,
a very
couldn't
long
get more
time.
old
And is,
man.
and is an OG.
Could get more old man than that game, probably.
Right. And that was the other thing. It was also on brand. Right. Exactly. So
It was like buying a bottle of fine whiskey or wine or something.
yeah. It really was just, like I said, me just, please,
Yeah.
Treat
myself
yourself.
happy for, exactly. Treat myself. There it is. Treat yourself.
Chris, you're not shallow like me. Like you're not distracted by the flashy, but I do like the fact that like you were like, if it's a black box, because me and John both seen your game of the year that you talked about at the episode about 12, and that was the Black Carriage, and it was just this dusty, gross looking cover. Me and John both saw it at the store, and literally you turn it around, there's nothing on the back, and we're just like, that's a must buy for Chris. Like,
Correct.
he might not be shallow, but I think when he sees that ugly, hideous, unmarketed game, he's like, oh, my pocket's burning.
That's right, because that's the mark of excellence known as splatter. They don't put anything on the back of their boxes.
That's what's funny is I actually like the cover, but I was like, oh, let me actually see what it looks like though when you play it. And I turn it around, nothing there. I'm like, yeah, that's figures.
Just blank.
Nothing there at all. Nothing to see here.
Well,
That's
let us know in the comments what you think. What is it that takes your money away? What is it that is a must buy for you? We'd love to hear about it. Comment, subscribe, like, and check us out on all the social media.
Hey, thanks for watching a clip from Around the Board. It's a show that comes out every other Thursday where we discuss board games and board game topics. We're awarded points, and at the end, whoever wins gets to be on their soapbox and say whatever they want. So if you want to watch the full episode, find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.